Canada warns universities. Reduce reliance on Indian students, invest in global talent. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. If you're planning to study in Canada or just curious about the latest immigration changes, you're in the right place. Canada is making big moves in its international education policies, and universities are now being urged to reduce their reliance on Indian students while expanding their reach to other parts of the world. What does this mean for future students? How will it impact tuition fees, visa approvals, and even job opportunities after graduation? We've got all the details you need to stay ahead of these changes. But that's not all. Stick around until the end, because we'll be diving into some key solutions that universities can adopt to tackle these challenges, including what Canada must do to streamline visa processing, offer better financial support, and build stronger global partnerships. So, if you want to stay informed and get expert insights, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Let's get started. A growing dependence on Indian students. Canada has seen a surge in international student enrollments over the past decade, with a significant portion coming from India. In 2024 alone, Canada issued 518,125 study permits, with Indian students making up 189,070 of them, more than any other nationality. The next largest group, students from China, received only 56,550 permits. While this influx has brought economic benefits, including billions of dollars in tuition and living expenses, it has also introduced challenges, such as increased pressure on housing, concerns over labor exploitation, and questions about the quality of some private institutions. Recognizing these issues, Immigration Minister Mark Miller has urged Canadian universities and colleges to diversify their student intake by attracting more applicants from Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. Miller emphasized that while Indian students will remain an important part of Canada's education system, institutions should no longer rely so heavily on this single demographic. Why Canada is pushing for diversification. Economic risks of over-reliance on one country. One of the primary concerns behind this policy shift is economic vulnerability. Over-reliance on a single-source country means that any policy change in that country, such as new visa restrictions or diplomatic tensions, could have a drastic impact on enrollment numbers. If India were to introduce incentives for students to study domestically or favor competing countries like Australia or the UK, Canadian universities could suffer severe financial losses. Housing and infrastructure strains. With the rapid increase in international student numbers, major cities such as Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal have experienced housing shortages. Many students struggle to find affordable accommodations, driving up rental prices and increasing homelessness rates among students. This has led to growing public backlash, as Canadian citizens also face affordability challenges in these high-demand areas. Educational quality concerns. The sheer volume of international students has also raised concerns about maintaining high academic standards. Some private colleges, particularly those targeting international students, have been accused of prioritizing profits over education quality. Reports have surfaced of institutions offering subpar courses, limited student support, and overcrowded classrooms, diminishing the overall value of a Canadian degree. New immigration policies to reduce student numbers. To address these concerns, the Canadian government introduced a cap on study permit applications in 2024, which led to a 40% reduction in the number of incoming students. In 2025, the cap has been further tightened, with Canada planning to issue only 437,000 study permits, a 10% decrease from the previous year. These measures aim to alleviate pressure on housing and public services while ensuring that only genuine students with strong academic intent are admitted. While the policy change addresses some of the immediate challenges, it has created significant financial strain for universities and colleges, particularly those that rely heavily on international tuition revenue. This is why the government is now pushing institutions to rethink their recruitment strategies and expand their outreach to underrepresented regions. Financial impact on universities and colleges. Beyond just tuition revenue, international students contribute significantly to local economies through housing, transportation, and daily expenses. With fewer international students arriving, many businesses that rely on student spending, such as landlords, retailers, and service providers, may experience economic downturns. This ripple effect extends beyond universities, impacting job markets and communities that thrive on student presence. Tuition dependency. International students contribute significantly to Canadian higher education institutions, often paying 4 to 5 times the tuition fees of domestic students. Many universities and colleges have come to depend on these higher fees to balance their budgets, fund research, and support various academic programs. With reduced student numbers, institutions are now facing substantial financial shortfalls. Ontario universities, for example, are expected to lose approximately $330 million in revenue this year and $600 million next year due to declining international student enrollments. Institutions like Sheridan College, Seneca College, and Mohawk College have already announced budget cuts, program cancellations, and staff layoffs in response to these losses. Northern College in Timmins projects a $6 million deficit for 2025 to 2026, which could increase to $12 million in the following year if trends continue. The need for a sustainable funding model. This financial dependency is now being scrutinized at the highest levels of government. Minister Mark Miller has made it clear that the federal government does not take responsibility for universities overcharging international students to offset funding gaps. He has urged institutions to develop more sustainable financial strategies that do not rely so heavily on international tuition. Additionally, universities may need to seek alternative funding through research grants, industry partnerships, and alumni contributions. By diversifying their revenue streams, institutions can ensure long-term financial stability while continuing to offer quality education. Many institutions are now looking at innovative solutions such as co-op programs with industries that help students gain work experience while generating revenue for universities. Increasing domestic enrollment and advocating for better government funding at both federal and provincial levels are also crucial steps in securing a financially sustainable future. By reducing dependence on a single revenue source, universities can maintain financial health while preserving academic excellence. Thanks for staying with us this far. We appreciate your time and hope you're finding this information valuable. Potential solutions for universities. One key aspect of diversification is ensuring that incoming students from underrepresented regions have access to adequate support systems. Universities must invest in mentorship programs, career counseling, and integration initiatives that help students adapt to the academic environment and Canadian culture. Establishing networks that connect incoming students with alumni and industry professionals can also enhance their educational experience and post-graduation employment prospects. Government collaboration on visa processing. To successfully diversify, Canada must improve visa processing efficiency and standardize approval criteria to ensure fair treatment of applicants from all regions. Policymakers should work closely with educational institutions to streamline procedures and reduce unnecessary rejections. Scholarships and financial incentives. Many students from Africa and Latin America lack the financial resources to afford international tuition. Universities can create scholarship programs and financial aid initiatives to attract top talent from these regions and make studying in Canada more accessible. Partnerships with international institutions. Building partnerships with universities and high schools in Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America can enhance Canada's reputation in these regions. Programs like exchange initiatives, joint degree programs, and dual enrollment options can make Canadian education more appealing to a broader range of students. The future of international education in Canada. As universities adapt to these changes, collaboration between academic institutions and private industries will be crucial. By aligning programs with labor market demands and offering specialized training, universities can ensure that international graduates are well equipped for employment opportunities. This approach not only enhances student outcomes but also strengthens Canada's workforce, addressing skill shortages in key sectors such as healthcare, technology, and engineering. While Canada is undergoing a major shift in its international education policies, the long-term benefits of diversification will outweigh the challenges. By reducing reliance on a single country, ensuring sustainable growth in student enrollments, and maintaining high educational standards, Canada can strengthen its global reputation as a premier study destination. The road ahead for Canada's international education. As Canada shifts its approach to international education, one thing is clear. Change is necessary for a more sustainable and balanced system. While Indian students will always be an integral part of Canada's academic landscape, universities must now focus on attracting a broader range of talent from around the world. This move isn't just about numbers, it's about ensuring long-term stability, improving education quality, and making Canada's institutions truly global. But challenges remain. Visa processing delays, financial constraints, and institutional readiness all play a role in making this transition smoother or more difficult. That's why it's critical for both the government and universities to work together to create fairer policies, provide better support, and open new doors for international students. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Canada's new strategy is the right move? Drop your opinions in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next update on Canadian immigration, education, and beyond. Thanks for watching Canada Chronicles, and we'll see you in the next video.